A lot of people learning English spend hours and hours trying to remember word lists. Maybe you've done this too. You've got a list of words, repeat them over and over again, and hope they'll stay in your memory. The problem is that they usually don't, because when you study words in isolation all by themselves without any connections, they don't hook to your memory. And that's one of the big weaknesses of word lists. They usually throw unrelated words together. One might be about food, another about business, and another about emotions, without anything connecting them together. That makes it much harder for your brain to organize this information and remember it when you need it. That's why you need a smarter way to grow vocabulary, one that focuses on connections instead of words all alone. Instead of learning lonely words all by themselves, learn word families. A word family is a group of words that are all connected. This means if you learn one word, you can quickly understand and use many related words without starting from zero each time. For example, let's take a look at the simple word act. From just this one word, you can unlock a whole bunch of related vocabulary. The verb activate, the adjective active, the adverb actively, and the nouns action, activity, and activist. Do you see how useful this is? Instead of just knowing the verb act, now you suddenly have several related words you can use. And best of all, they all share a common connection. They're all related. So your brain can remember them as one group instead of as a pile of unrelated words. This makes vocabulary learning much more time and energy efficient. When words are linked together, it's easier to remember them, easier to recognize them when reading or listening, and easier to use them correctly when speaking or writing. Think about it this way. If you only learn the verb act or the noun action by themselves, you might struggle when you see a sentence like, she's very active in her community, or several activists were protesting outside City Hall. But if you studied the whole family, these sentences suddenly make perfect sense. That's the power of word families, ladies and gentlemen. One word opens a door to a whole cluster of useful vocabulary. And these will stick in your memory because they're not all by themselves, they're connected. Here's another example. Let's explore words related to the verb decide. If you're watching this channel, you probably already know this verb and the related noun decision. From there, we can branch off and add even more useful words. For instance, the adjective decisive describes someone who makes clear, confident choices. She's very decisive in meetings. And of course, we have its opposite, indecisive, which describes someone who has trouble making up their mind. Like in this sentence, he's so indecisive about everything, he can never choose where to eat. See how easy that is? Instead of only knowing decide and decision, you now have a small network of related words that you can actually use in different situations. And the more you practice with them, the stronger the connections become in your memory. The great thing is you don't have to figure this out all on your own. With the help of a good learner's dictionary or even a tool like ChatGPT, you can quickly find these related forms. It only takes a few extra minutes, but the payoff is huge. You're not just adding one word, you're doubling or tripling your vocabulary in just a few easy steps. Step 1, pick a word you already know. Start with something familiar so it doesn't feel overwhelming. For example, let's take the word employee. You probably already know this noun already. For instance, the company is looking for new employees. In this case, employee just means worker. Step 2, check related forms in a dictionary, and this is where the magic happens. If you look up employee, you'll also find connected words like the verb employ, the adjectives employed and unemployed, and other nouns like employer, employment, and unemployment. Suddenly, one word becomes a whole network of words. Step 3, make a simple table. Write them down in a clear way, grouped by part of speech. It could look something like this. Step 4, create example sentences for each word. Now, with this step, you're bringing these words to life. For example, the employee worked late to finish the project. The company employs 75 workers. Every adult in the family is employed. In a bad economy, there are a lot of unemployed people. The employer offered extra training to staff. Employment rates have increased this year, and high unemployment is a major issue. Step 5, review and check for understanding. Now it's time to make sure you're actually using these words correctly. And this is where ChatGPT can really help you. Here's how. Check your example sentences. After you write your example sentences, copy and paste them into ChatGPT and ask, can you check if my sentences are natural and correct? ChatGPT will point out small grammar issues, unnatural phrasing, and give you suggestions to make your sentences sound more fluent. You can even ask follow-up questions like, can you explain why this sentence sounds unnatural? Or can you give me a more natural way to say this? That way, you're not just memorizing, you're learning through feedback. Next, create review exercises. You can use ChatGPT to help quiz yourself. Try prompts like, make a fill-in-the-blank exercise to test my knowledge of the following word list. Or create a short quiz using the words employ, employee, employer, employment, and unemployment. After that, practice in new contexts by asking ChatGPT to help you practice using these words in different ways using a prompt like, give me a short paragraph about job interviews that uses at least 3 words from the following list. Then try to rewrite that paragraph in your own words or record yourself reading it aloud. By using ChatGPT or another AI tool this way, you're turning vocabulary review into active practice and building confidence using them without needing a tutor. So step number 5 was a long one. For step number 6, practice using them in your speaking and writing. This is a key step. It's not enough to just see these words. You need to use them. Set yourself a challenge. During the week, try to write or say at least one sentence for each word. For example, use employee when you talk about your job, or employer when discussing a company you know. The more you use them in real situations, the more natural they will feel. If you do this consistently, you'll start to notice some amazing results. Your vocabulary will grow faster, the words will stick in your memory longer, and you'll feel confident using them in all kinds of situations. All right, now it's your turn. Let's put what we've learned into action. Here's a challenge for you. Pick one word family today and write one sentence for each word in the family using them naturally, just like we've practiced. Post your sentences in the comments. I'd love to see your examples and give you feedback. If you found this video helpful, be sure to explore other videos in my Effective Learning series and hit those outstanding like and subscribe buttons on your way out the door. See you in the future.